Okay, I'll admit, this is a video that I have very selfishly wanted to make for probably about 3 years now. We are comparing my personal Ducati Scrambler desert sled to the Triumph Scrambler 1200 XE. These are two of the most off-road capable, fun scramblers on the market right now. And this is my personal bike, as I mentioned, but this one has kind of stolen my heart a little bit too. Today we're going to do a deep, detailed analysis of this bike versus this bike, on-road and off-road, to see which truly is the king of the scramblers. Let's start off with the contender for today, the Triumph Scrambler 1200 XE. This is a really cool bike. I've had my eye on this thing for years, and I'm super excited to have it here in the shop. It's a loaner bike provided to us from Eurocycle. They're our preferred dealer partner. If you're looking for a Triumph, a BMW, an Aprilia, an MV Agusta, a Ducati, all kinds of great stuff, hit that link below to rideeurocycle.com. They deliver to anywhere all over the nation. We've bought a ton of bikes from them. The process is super easy. You sign the paperwork online, the bike shows up in a truck, and you're pretty much ready to go and ride from there. So they've loaned us this bike for a little bit for us to have some fun with, and I could not be more thrilled. Let's talk over what this machine is. If you guys missed my detailed first ride on this bike, I'm going to give you a quick rundown on this machine. So we start off with the Bonneville 1200 platform here. It's a steel cradle frame, but it's been beefed up a little bit. It's got a new aluminum swing arm, and it's kind of jacked up a little bit. You can see it's got this huge fork up at the front, 9.6 inches of travel. You can kind of think of this machine as a naked adventure bike, with the beating heart being a 1200cc parallel twin, making about 86 horsepower and 83 foot-pounds of torque. This thing has linear, progressive, smooth power all the way to its red line at about 7,500 RPM. A little bit lower than you would expect in a motorcycle, but I forgive it because of the way that it sounds. You got this big shelf seat here, adjustable suspension front and rear, this beautiful high pipe, nice ground clearance, a little skid plate at the bottom. It's really quite adventure ready and off-road capable, which makes it a super fun street bike. You can smash into potholes, you can pop wheelies in second gear. This thing is a riot to ride. Coming with a bunch of suite of electronics as well, this thing has road mode, off-road mode, sport mode, traction control, ABS, all kinds of amazing features that are going to keep you safe on your ride as well. This motorcycle comes in at a little over $16,000 MSRP, so it's kind of a spicy meatball, but I truly think that it is worth the money. Now, with all that being said, let's take a look at the Ducati Scrambler Desert Sled and see how it compares. And in the other corner, we have what I consider to be the best scrambler on the market because I purchased this motorcycle about 4 years ago. It's my personal Ducati Scrambler Desert Sled. This is one of my very own motorcycles. I've had this thing for 4 years, like I said, and I really have come to just appreciate and enjoy this motorcycle more and more as time has gone on. I have a little over 12,000 miles on the clock on this machine. I've taken it to New Mexico, California. I've ridden this thing all kinds of places, taken it places it did not belong, and it always left me with a big smile on my face. So you might look at this machine and say, yeah, I don't think that's an exact apples for apples comparison to the 1200 XE from Triumph, but let me walk you through why I think this motorcycle is a good competitor. So you start off with the traditional Ducati Scrambler platform, but much like the 1200, it's jacked up and modified to be a little bit more off-road capable. So this machine has taller suspension, lifted up a little bit of a skid plate, not quite as robust as a Triumph. It sits on a 19-inch front end versus a 21-inch front end on the Triumph, but it has real tubed wheels as well. I found that out the hard way because I got a flat the other day, and there are indeed tubes in this motorcycle, whereas the Triumph runs a fake tubed setup. But again, a 19-inch front end over here means you're going to have a little bit more trouble rolling over stuff. It's not exactly adventure bike spec, but it still has about 9.4 inches of ground clearance as well. At the heart of this motorcycle is an 803cc L-twin Desmo Ducati engine producing about 75 horsepower and 50 foot-pounds of torque. Similar to the Triumph, you got the shelf seat, the cool retro styling, and some off-road chops to back it up as well. I've only made a couple modifications of this thing in the time I've owned it. I put a new master cylinder on it because I really hated how squishy the front brakes were. It's got a direct line to the caliper. I'm running the same Pirelli Rally Scorpion STR tires, and I've put an exhaust on the motorcycle and put a fuel controller as well. Otherwise, it's pretty much bone stock as you would see from the factory. So I really love this motorcycle. I've had it for a long time, but now I'm going to ride them back to back and see which one I like more.
All right, folks, we've talked over the specs in the shop, and we are now going to be riding these machines out on the open road. Brandon is joining me because it's more fun to do scramblers together, isn't it?
Oh yeah, always. It's always fun to do it in pairs.
Yes, that's
Scrambler
right.
v Scrambler.
Yeah. Brandon, which one do you like the look of more? I didn't ask you that.
You know, I actually think I like the look of the Triumph just a bit better. I like yours because it's lower, and I have short little legs. But I think I actually like the look of the Triumph a bit better. I was just looking at that.
I think I like the high pipe on the Triumph a little bit better, but I like the fender on the sled a little bit more. It's got that dirt bike fender, which gives it kind of a cooler look.
Your sled does look good. I never really like looked at it. It does look good.
Thanks, buddy. Yeah, it's a good looking bike. Well, let's go ride them. Let's see which one is more fun or a better scrambler. We're gonna do some twisties, hit up a little dirt loop, have some fun. I think we will have to admit that the Scrambler sounds better just because I do have a pipe on it. We don't have a pipe on the Triumph.
Yeah, but that's cheating.
I got this big bark. Not quite. Here, let's beat this tractor. So, Scramblers are kind of funny bikes because they kind of have to do everything, and they don't really do anything that great, to be honest. They're bad, twisty, carvy bikes, they're bad dirt bikes, and yet I think they have a lot of, like, charm and appeal. What do you think, Brandon?
I'm over here literally carving it up behind you, so I'm having a ball.
I think something about the big, torquey twins and the upright stance just makes you want to be a little bit of a hooligan with them.
Oh, yeah. I'm having actually quite a bit of fun. I'm not gonna lie.
You what?
I'm having quite a bit of fun right now. Just back here being squidlet. Behind Big Daddy Squid.
It is hard to not have fun on two wheels in a twisty road. It's a good time. No matter what you're on, even a scooter, I'd be having fun.
That's true. You just gotta find the right place.
So one thing I want to talk about is, of course, the Triumph does have a substantially larger engine than the Desert Sled. You know, it's got a 1200cc parallel twin. This motorcycle has an 803cc L-twin Desmo Ducati engine. Do you like the torque on that engine, Brandon?
Yeah, actually, it was probably the main characteristic that I like about this thing. I feel like I'm bogging in third and fourth, but it's taking it really, really well.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing you want in a street bike, just that ample torque, really fun ability to, you know, carve out of corners, even if you're lower gear. It's really nice.
Oh, yeah. Like I'm sitting here in fourth, real low on the RPMs, and it just glides out of the corner.
I'm glad I can teach you a couple things here in the twisties, Brandon, you know, because a lot of people online think you don't know how to ride, and, you know, I'm glad I'm teaching you some stuff.
Yeah, I'm glad I can learn something. I'm always eager to learn.
And I know my brake lights don't work, but just try your best, you know.
I'm not even looking out.
Yeah, people online are just going to think that I'm not using my brakes at all. I'm so fast.
So fast.
In the braking department, one of the key modifications I've made to this Scrambler, because it is my own bike, as we mentioned in the shop, is this Brembo RCS 15 master cylinder. I've got direct lines to the caliper as well. I deleted the ABS line, and it makes a big difference. One of the things I think these Scramblers suffer from is a little bit is that ABS line, but also because the suspension travel is so big on the front, you have a motorcycle that does tend to dive quite a bit. Do you notice that on the Triumph or no?
Yeah, actually, as you were talking about that, I was experiencing that, and you can't really feel what's going on at the front. You feel a lot of dive, and the bike wants to turn, but you don't know what it's trying to do. It's just diving, and you have no real information. You feel actually pretty disconnected from it.
Yeah, I think you're really far away from the front wheel, and yeah, you get a lot of dive and not a lot of information coming through the front end. You kind of just have to trust that it's going to hold the line as we negotiate this decreasing radius. Lime Creek is bumpy, which is perfect for a Scrambler.
What bumps? Yeah, I don't even feel a bump on this thing.
Absolutely not.
That's a positive for the suspension travel, I tell you what.
just feels so right but so wrong, just hucking these bikes through corners.
Alright, are you or are you not smiling right now?
I have the biggest smile on my face.
Exactly. And I feel like that's where the Scramblers are really good, because they're not a bike that I've actually really ever ridden. I think I've only ridden one Scrambler-esque bike before.
Yeah.
And these are really fun. This is very quickly becoming an option for me to buy, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, the Triumph especially is super cool because it's kind of like a naked adventure bike. That's how Triumph kind of bills it. And I got to agree, you know, the Desert Sled's a little different. It's got a 19-inch front end instead of a 21. It's much more of a traditional like street bike turned into an ADV-esque bike, where that bike, I think, other than the frame, you know, it's pretty adventure bike. It's huge. It's really big.
Yeah, and that's actually one big downturn for me, because again, I got short little legs. We already had one almost instance where I just almost fell over because my legs are so small on this thing. I have to 1-foot it, but no, it's I can overlook that, honestly. This is becoming a really fun bike for me.
So ergonomically, you think you don't really fit on it? It's a little too big for someone your size?
Yeah, some of my size. I'm 5'8", 5'9", but I do have shorter legs than my height may suggest. But once you're on the bike and moving, like if you can get this thing lowered by an inch or two, you're going to be actually really well on it. The ergonomics while you're going are phenomenal. I'm actually very, very comfortable right now. Probably
yeah, that's
for a
one of the best
trip.
things about these bikes, man. You're just so upright and comfy. It's so nice.
Exactly, and for a longer road trip, it would be good, but I think the wind over time would start beating you up. But you were telling me earlier that actually doesn't end up being the case.
No, yeah, I've done over a 600-mile trip with this Scrambler all the way to Mexico and back. Yeah, no, it's really nice. But Brandon, I think it's time we swap out and try to see some of the differences between these two bikes. What do you think?
Oh, I'm having too much fun. All right, I guess we can.
Perfect timing.
Look at that.
I'm already noticing a big weight difference.
Yeah, actually, your weight's a lot lower. That one's real up high.
Yeah,
but it handles it well. I think you'll find that really quickly if you haven't already.
Oh, I'm so much taller. I'm up in the sky.
Oh, this has so much less torque, but it's almost, I don't know how to describe that. Almost better. I feel like because of the weight difference, because this weight's so low, it almost tricks the mind a little bit that the less torque that you have, it still handles it. It's proportional, if you understand what I'm trying to say. I don't even know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, no, I agree.
It's weird.
I think one of the things about this bike is I'd love to figure out the rake on both of them. Actually, that was something I didn't look into, but I feel like the turn-in on this bike, because of the 21-inch and the rake, is just super different.
Oh, yeah. I just ran over that yellow line because this wants to dive in much more than that Triumph does.
You know what's weird is I don't feel like this is that much faster.
I don't think it's much faster either, but I think that torque, like if you come out of a corner in 4th gear on that thing, well, it's like, you know, 2,000 RPM, I think you'll notice where that thing starts to shine.
Oh yeah, yeah, I was just in 4th gear back there at like 2,000 RPM and just roll on the throttle and it's got power for days.
Exactly. Meanwhile, I'm having to carry more corner speed on this thing just to actually keep up with you, because you kind of got me up that hill a little bit.
Yeah, I think once this road straightens out a little bit, we should do a little drag race.
Oh, that'll be interesting.
Because that's what's important in your Scrambler, is how fast is it?
No, this thing isn't bad at all. I like being lower. I feel a lot more comfortable. And I noticed the seat is a little bit narrower on this, so my legs aren't just always wide. I do like that a bit.
Let's do it from about 20?
20? All right, so 1st gear?
Yeah. All right.
All right, lead us off.
looked like right out of first gear I just jumped.
You didn't get much of a jump on me, to be honest with you. You got a little one on me, but it wouldn't have mattered. You just kept coasting past. It just glided away from me, basically.
Yeah. Well, that's because I know how to take a bike to
skywalk me.
redline, Brandon. You don't know how to do that, so.
That's true. I almost missed a shift here, though. I'm still learning.
No, I get what it is. It's a Ducati. You don't know how to take a Ducati to redline.
That's true. That's true.
That's the problem.
I'm a new rider, man. I'm trying to learn.
Yeah, you know, you're putting the noob back in Yammy Noob, you know? All right, folks, we're going to get some gas, fill these bikes up, and then take them out on a little dirt loop because they are scramblers. Let's go play around.
Let's go scramble.
All right, folks. It wouldn't be a Scrambler review without a little bit of off-road terrain. So, Brandon, let's get dirty, shall we?
I can't see her behind you. I'll just keep that in mind and keep a little more distance.
Yeah, so these big bikes, man, they work okay off-road. They've done really nice things to the suspension and the frame, and I actually really like the size of this Triumph because you feel really good standing on it.
Really? I'm not even trying to stand. I'm just out here slamming the back end around.
You're like, what the thing? Why would I stand?
Yeah, well, that's a lot of work. Why do I have to stand when I can sit? I almost died. I'm not gonna lie.
Brandon's being efficient, and he's, you have your feet down? What are you doing?
No, I don't have my feet down. What are you talking about?
Look, yeah, you do.
No, I don't. Are you looking in your mirrors right now? I really don't, I think. I don't know. I did catch myself once. I almost died once. I will admit.
Yeah.
All right, fine. And Jesus.
It's a teensy bit bumpy. Might be better to stand.
Yeah, I can't really see where I'm going with all the bumps.
Nice and muddy.
Not muddy, it's just soft. Hey, your rear brake doesn't work for shit.
Nope.
Thanks for letting me know, dickhead.
Does not work at all.
Alright, let me lead you around. Let me show you a thing or two.
Alright, you gotta show me?
Yeah, I'm gonna show you a thing or two.
Nope. Can't see a fucking thing. Are you like, I told you, you had your foot down, you're flat tracking the bike.
Is that not what you're supposed to do?
You're gonna crash that bike. And then you're gonna pay to fix it.
Ah, no brakes!
Oh, I saw that.
I went for a real bike and I completely forgot it didn't work. Why doesn't that work? Oh,
it's a great question. God, we're off-road pros. People are jealous of our off-roading skills right now.
I got lost, I'm not gonna lie.
Just keep going, you're good.
I almost took a left. Oh, no brake! Oh my gosh! Fix the brake!
Why are you using your brakes, bro? Are you slow or something?
It's not working at all. Is it?
You said it's not working at all?
No, the rear brake doesn't work at all.
Nah,
Oh,
I'm pretty sure it does.
You have to push it hard.
Yeah, you just stopped. You're good. Just complaining.
I almost
Alright,
died
let's
a couple
swap.
times. Alright.
Let's see
I hope
which
that
bike
one has
works
a function
better.
rear brake. How does that one feel?
It feels good. It's tall and heavy. That's the thing about it, you know?
Cool. Awesome. And I'm
Perfect for a
short
guy
and
like
small.
you.
Yeah, I'm short and small. Great. Ah! Oh, small. I got short legs, man.
We're doing great. We're doing great.
Yeah, we're doing great things here at Yaminu.
We are off-road pros.
You gotta push your rear brake hard.
Dude, it fucking works. I don't know what you're talking about.
It didn't work at all. You saw me almost die. Oh, this feels way more comfortable, like smooth. Not really comfortable, but smooth. So much standing. Have you thought about sitting?
You shouldn't be sitting, Brandon. You know that.
In this stuff you can. What are you talking about? See, now you stand. It's a little rougher, you stand.
Now you're teaching me. I get it.
Yeah. You know, we all have our expertise. Yours is on road.
Everyone knows that if you just hit the throttle a lot off-road, it looks like you know what you're doing.
Exactly.
Like if you're just
That's the secret. Not many amateurs know that.
people are like, oh shit, he knows what he's doing.
He's blipping it, man.
He's blipping it, bro. He's rotating. Look at me. Look at me. I know what I'm doing, bro. Look at me.
Dude, you do. Oh my God, you almost died. I reacted to your almost death. Woo! See, this doesn't have the noise and the analog feel, but it's so smooth in how it does it.
Oh yeah, it really is. It's weird, like both bikes, how do I phrase this? They both get down the dirt road, you know? They both can do it. They do it really differently. I feel like with the 21, this thing rolls over things way smoother.
You don't feel half the stuff.
And the suspension travel, I think, is better.
I don't know if it's better. I think it's a lot more plush.
Yeah, it's not as stiff.
It is a lot more forgiving than that, I feel. That one you almost have to attack. This one you can leisurely go and ride it through this stuff. And I was no sweat at all because, you know, functioning rear brake, it's so much better.
Hey, my rear brake functioned, man.
Okay. Maybe I wasn't pushing the rear. I was pushing something. It may not have been the rear brake.
Yeah. One thing I like about that thing is you could be in like third gear and just roll, and it just has so much torque. It just It just goes.
That's why it's so much better. You don't have to think about what gear you're in, bogging it, or anything. It's just it glides to where you want to go. That torque is really, really nice.
Yeah, and that's an off-road mode. It kind of gives you a little less torque. That's one thing I noticed. This bike has no different modes. So it's like what you see is what you get. And in loose conditions like this, man, you know, 75 horsepower is actually a lot. Like it's just so much wheel spin. You know, even a little 250 is going to kick out the tire here all over the place. So these big bikes with these big engines, they just
just munches it. Like if I was too close to you, I couldn't see anything. There's so much dust. But if I had to pick a favorite for at least this condition that we just did, it'd be the Triumph all day. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. That one was more fun, I think, but this one was a lot more of a leisurely act. It just kind of accepted it, did it, no excitement, just kind of kept rolling, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it has the ability to, really easily allow you to ride it. You know, if you're a more novice off-road and you've bought this, for example, like, I think it'd be pretty easy to take it down a gravel road or something. You know, the stuff we're doing here is not particularly difficult. There's a couple sections that are a little rougher than I would like. But yeah, like stuff like this, you could trundle down with that bike, no problem.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's like they both have their pros and cons. This one feels more like visceral and real and analog. Like this is a little more computery.
That's fair, but for what I feel like these bikes are supposed to do and just like ride in really any condition type stuff, I would prefer this because unless I go out searching for that type of thing, I'm gonna get a bike that's made for it. I'm not gonna do it. If this, I'm like, I'm out on a long ride, I'm like, oh, let's go a little bit of trail. That's the type of stuff that I feel like this is for, and that's why I almost prefer this because I didn't have to think. It was just being done for me, you know what I mean? It's a very nice bike.
Yeah, well, let's get him back to the shop and render a final opinion.
Yeah.
All right, folks, Brandon and I spent the day riding these two machines, and which one do I like more? And man, this is a hard question to answer. Honestly, I don't want to give you guys a cop-out, The Triumph is a better motorcycle for certain applications. What do I mean by that? I mean, if you're gonna take a big long trip, you're gonna hit up some off-road, you're gonna do real adventure bike stuff, the Triumph is the one to get. It's got a bigger front wheel, it handles its weight better, it's got off-road modes, it's just a more premium, faster motorcycle. It pulls really hard out of corners actually. I was chasing Brandon around those twisties and he would just gap me on third gear. I could just see that bike just leaving me. So this is a faster bike, it's a better bike, more capable I would say, but, and this is a big but, it doesn't tug on my heartstrings the way that the Scrambler over here does. The Ducati Scrambler Desert Sled has an authentic feel to it. It's an air-cooled engine, it's analog, there's no ride modes, it's a ride-by-wire throttle, ride-by-cable throttle, it's direct to the engine. I don't know, something about the Desert Sled still tugs on my heartstrings, and even though I've taken this thing on huge road trips, I've done tons of mileage with it, I think this would be the better bike to do it with, but the Ducati has that special je ne sais quoi. The Ducatista in me can't help but love the Desert Sled, but I have to admit the Triumph is the better motorcycle. And the prices reflect that, right? This thing is more expensive than this motorcycle. Ducati's actually discontinued the Desert Sled, so you can't pick this bike up anymore. And so I think that makes it all the more special. Bikes like this don't really come around often anymore. You have to look at Royal Enfields or something like that, and they're probably going liquid cooled in the Himalayan as well too. So this type of motorcycle is a bit of a dying breed, this pure analog experience in the Desert Sled over here. But boy almighty, if I could have two bikes, I'd have both of them because I do love the Triumph very much as well. I hope that helps you with your purchasing decision on which Scrambler you think is best. Let me know in the comments down below which of these motorcycles you would pick between these two. Will you want the prettiness of the Triumph over here, or do you want the analog feel of the Desert Sled? We'll catch you in the next one. See you later. Brother, only one thing to say to you today. While we sit here taking a knee, it's a special moment, me and you hanging out here. Do it. I don't even got to tell you what to do. You already know what to do. You've made it to the end of the video. You got the time. I know you're sitting there. You want to make sure that you can keep watching yourself some Yammy Noob. So what you want to do, just click that video right over here. Do it.